time for a little Funky Friday. From their funky hidden headquarters, your hosts, Keith and Gary. Not Jerry.
That's such a catchy tune. I like that. Let's see. I heard somebody pop in while we're back. Say, there's Kieran. Yeah, Kieran will be joining us here in a second. Kieran, of course, is here from Geekosity magazine. And it's either going to be him or it's going to be Mikey when they come on. And Mikey wasn't able to do it this week. So immediately I'm hitting Kieran up and, they're going to make it to the show. I cry a lot. That's what gets them to come on the show.
He's vegan.
He's vegan. Keith will be here too in a few minutes. I woke him up from a prodigious nap. I almost didn't want to, but it's like, Martin made me. Martin says, no, wake him. So, Martin, you're the jerk. I want to say hello, everybody. I hope everybody's having a good Friday. It is the end of the work week for many people, not everybody. And we're eventually going to do a show stream that will never end, because the Pop Culture Minefield really does feel sometimes like the show that never ends, because we have so many shows a week. So many of us. I need more caffeine. By the way, this show is brought to you by Fuel Up. And I don't have the graphic for this show. I'll be getting that taken care of. But I will just pop this one up just so you can see it. Don't use that link for this show. Fuel Up is amazing. I feel so energized all freaking day long since I started the routine. And it is something else. It's got 180 milligrams of caffeine, but you get no crash and you get no jitters. I don't know how they do that. And it's apparently with the proprietary ingredients of their supplement, which is also got something made right out of aloe vera plant that helps just keep you steady all day long. And I stopped having my midday naps, my siesta. I don't feel a need for them anymore. So it's really good stuff if you want to try it. We'll be getting that graphic, so you'll be able to go up to the website and all that stuff and check it out. But until then, I want to welcome everybody that's already here. I'm just putting the ads out right now over on Facebook. And I want to make sure that everybody is happily enjoying this show. And the first hour, we'll be talking with Geekosity about some interesting rumors. Kieran, of course, we'll see what he's written recently, because he's one of the lead writers over at Geekosity Mag. I don't know why. He's half illiterate. He's laughing backstage. He's like, no, I'm not, mate. Yeah, he's flipping me the bird. I love you too, buddy. But hey, if you say shit about British people, is that racist?
They're not a race, Gary.
How dare you?
The British race. I'm English, mate. So, somebody's got, maybe now I want Taco Bell. So we got some, everybody's here. It looks like, well, no, about a third of the people are here. We got Anima Confusa, love of my life. Boosh McFadden is here. Dragon Ruse, Penny, Monka Jeepus, thank you, come again. Railway Nation and Alex Moore are here already. We're going to get this show on the road here in a second, and I'm hoping everybody's going to have a great weekend. Tomorrow's a big day for us on Saturday Morning Fun Time. We're going to be doing Omega Man with Charlton Heston. Classic sci-fi film. And
yesterday.
Man, I'm telling you, what a fun film. Now, agreed, it doesn't stick to the story of the book, I Am Legend. It veers off drastically, to be honest with you. But I'm still a big fan of that damn movie. And the better film, more accurate one, is Last Man on Earth with Vincent Price. It actually adapted the source material pretty closely. Wouldn't you say, John?
Yeah, it's probably the closest adaptation we've got, and it you can't go wrong with Vincent Price.
Absolutely cannot go wrong. And speaking of Last Man on Earth, I want to introduce our good friend Kieran Bugg from Geekosity magazine. There he is. I'm going to put you in the number 1 position. I'll go here and you'll go here. And look at that. Isn't it nice? Isn't that nice?
Yeah,
That's part of OCD. Is it? Did you flip me off?
I did.
We all are.
Everybody flips me off.
Be fair though, mate. Who doesn't flip you off?
I know who doesn't.
That's the most inclusive thing about our crew is we flip everyone off. Gary flips off
That's
Gary.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like
You got a
when
clip
they're
of
off
Mr.
camera, I
Bean.
know they're sitting there like this. Fuck you.
You got that clip of Mr. Bean doing that out of his car.
Oh my god, I love that one where he's getting all energetic.
Yeah.
Are you a Mr. Bean fan?
I'm British, of course I am.
Now I know a couple of Brits that are not as big of fans, and which I think is weird because I think Mr. Bean is, I mean, outside of Monty Python, is one of the greatest comical characters to come out of Great Britain.
Oh, I
And
agree.
fucking hilarious what he did. It's practically mime. Like what?
It was a huge part of my childhood. I grew up watching that, and that was basically what introduced me to comedy.
Well, I love
That
how
explains a lot.
the show intros, it makes it look like he was dropped off by a bunch of aliens. And I'm like, yeah, that's Mr. Bean. He's like, he's not part of this planet. And did you enjoy the movies at all?
I loved both of them. I went to the cinema to watch the second one back in 2007. I was about 9 years old.
I think it's the superior film. I got to be honest. It felt more like Mr. Bean rather than a Hollywood film.
I don't really have a preference. I enjoyed both for what they were. I mean, given that I grew up with the first one and the second one, I don't really knock either.
Well, I wouldn't knock them. I actually do like both films. I like the whole thing with Whistler's mother.
Oh,
And I don't know about you, but there's so many moments in my life where I feel like Mr. Bean, where I'm just like, oh, just like, but there's one thing I stole from him that I do every once in a while. I'll look at somebody and I go, and they'll like look at me like, what the fuck was that? And I'm like, it's Mr. Bean's way of saying thank you. He sticks his tongue all the way out to really make that. He just like why he does it. It's funny when he does it. It cracks me up. What's your favorite Bean moment? Do you have one?
oh man.
Turkey on the head. Church scene with the candy.
Oh God!
Hallelujah.
Oh yeah, the whole falling asleep at church thing.
The blind man at
the
the
booger,
beach.
the snot in his pocket.
If I'm honest, it's from a deleted episode.
It's which one?
It's from a deleted episode, like a lost episode.
Oh, what was it?
He's in the library and he's checked out a really old book. I can't remember what book, but let's just say it goes from bad to worse, and he tears out some of the pages in his.
Oh
fashion.
yeah, and I remember. I've seen that where he makes noise to tear.
Is it as bad as like the art class where he literally used the clay to clothe up the nude model?
It's actually worse than that because he blames it on someone else who gets in a lot of trouble.
I know it's obscure, and probably nobody even remembers it, much less feels the same way. My absolute favorite was Mr. Bean at the beach. And when he has that guy sitting next to him and he's trying to figure out how to get changed.
Yeah, the blind guy.
Yeah, the blind guy. And he didn't even have to do any of it because the guy was blind.
Fun fact, the blind guy is also the same actor who did you remember the scene where this chap has a heart attack and he tries to jumpstart him with a car battery?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes. Yeah. That's
same
the same dude.
actor.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Holy
Yep. Shit. By the way, I cannot remember Connie's last name. She was part of Monty Python and Fawlty Towers. She was married to Cleese for years. Connie, what the fuck is her name?
I don't think that's her last name.
Somebody remember it. I cannot remember her name.
They're bringing back Fawlty Towers.
Wait, what?
Yep, it was in the news in the UK this week. John Cleese and his daughter are bringing back Fawlty Towers.
That's huge fucking news.
Yep.
Did you write something on this?
No, I didn't cover this story, but since you brought Fawlty Towers up, I thought I might as well throw it out there. It's been making headlines across the UK.
That's news. I've not heard this. This is fantastic. dude.
Well, it's got a lot of mixed receptions. There's people who think it should be left alone.
Well, he created the damn thing, and I'm
He
sure
did.
he would not do something crappy.
No,
He's very anti-woke, so it'll
no,
be
he's brought in his daughter to be the new manager of the hotel.
to play his daughter in the show,
Yeah,
and
his
he'll
own
still
daughter
be in there
playing his
too.
daughter.
Is Manuel still alive, the actor?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I haven't really done much.
Connie Booth. Oh, it just popped into my fucking head. Connie Booth was married to him. Yeah, she was great. I don't know if she's still alive. I know the lady that played his wife, and I think she passed away. Nothing. Okay, thanks, Kieran.
I'll be honest, I've only watched Fawlty Towers once, and that was years ago. I've got to rewatch it.
Well, if they're going to do an updated series, and I hope they do, I'd really like to see that, man. It's much better when people adapt it. When the original creator of it is involved with the making of a new series, I'm ready to, like Babylon 5. I'm ready to see what he does,
It's definitely
Michael
happening.
Straczynski. Yeah.
It's definitely happening because it was on BBC News, and that's like...
Oh, and the BBC are never full of shit.
Well, I won't go that far.
Oh, that's awesome news. That's great. You heard it here, guys. Bush also says it too. Alex Moore, who's over in the UK, says, yep, it's coming back. I'm surprised he didn't end that with mate. I make fun of you Brits. Cheers, mate. I hung out with so many Brits that I got that as part of my lexicon. I'll say cheers. And it's because, I lived over there and it's just there. That one in the C word. And I try not to use it too much on the show unless I mean it. And somebody go, sure you want to use that word? I said, I fucking meant it. Yeah. It's something my priest said to me one time, my godfather.
Bend over.
We were sitting at... So father was in the car and he was really angry at his car. It was the most money he ever spent on anything was buying that car. It was a Mercedes. And it was acting up as we're driving down the road. And he goes, God damn you. And I went, Father. And he says, I meant it. I was like, okay. He wanted that car to go to hell.
That sounds like a sitcom in itself.
Yeah. Oh, father was. He's from Dublin, Ireland. He'd say things like, how you doing, Gary? Oh, I love you, boy. How you doing? And then I would end telling him what I did. And he goes, oh, you're awful. Oh, that's terrible. Why would you do that? Oh, I'm ashamed of you.
Yep. Gary was an altar boy. As in, bent over the altar boy.
That never happened. I had great experiences with our priests, even though one priest was an asshole. Father Kramer, God rest his soul. He was a jerk. He said, none of you kids there smoke. Then he'd walk right out and just smoke a pack on one smoke break, just like multiple cigarettes going at once. That's why he talked like this. But yeah, I was CYO, Catholic Youth Organization. I was an altar boy. Mm-hmm. And I bonked a priest once. You'd probably find it funny. It was Father Williams, in fact. He fell asleep while the visiting deacon was doing the first reading. And Father Williams, I saw his head down. I thought he was praying, but then I heard him snoring. And I had the big, tall crucifix thing, and I just started tilting it to my right, and everybody could see me. It wasn't like I was being sneaky.
You didn't turn it all
bonked him on the head with it, and he looked up and told me later I wasn't asleep. And I'm like, that's the loudest fucking not sleeping I ever heard.
You didn't turn it all the way upside down, did you? Because you would have been thrown out on your ass.
No, I just tilted it and bonked him on the head with it and then brought it right back up, straight back up. And people in the pews were laughing because they were chuckling at what I did to make sure he was awake. And of course, the priest that was, the deacon that was giving the reading thought he'd done something. So he's like, oh, people are like really enjoying me. It's like, no, it has nothing to do with you. It has to do with the sleeping priest behind you. But Kieran, what's new over at Geekosity that you would like to talk about this week?
Well, one that just went up this morning was an interview with Kevin Feige. He was explaining how the 80 plus years of comics has influenced the entire Marvel universe over the past, how long is it? 14 years now?
Yeah, 14 years since Iron Man. Because Iron Man was the first one, right?
Yeah, it was. Unless you want to get technical, because now it'll be Spider-Man 2002.
Right. And then you also had the Hulk movies. And the Hulk really feels like it should be included, the Incredible Hulk. The first one that was directed by the Chinese director. Ang Lee. But let's see. Here's the article. I'm going to pull it up real quick here that we're talking about over on geekositymag.com. And Kevin Feige offers revealing look how Marvel Comics influences the MCU. And I'm not sure how I feel about some of this because a lot of people don't know that he was damn near fired in 2015. And that's just finally coming to light that Feige, Ike Perlmutter, wasn't it, that was going to fire him, that wanted to fire him. And Bob Iger intervened and stopped it from happening. And I think that Feige did a fantastic job up to 2015. And then all of a sudden, Marvel sort of lost its collective mind and started going off on these little weird tangents.
Just me, or does he look extremely constipated in that image?
He does. He looks like, I've got to go poop.
That's the look of a guy who hasn't opened a comic.
Let's see, Kevin. He is a comic book fan, but he's a comic book fan of the 80s and 90s. And so therefore, he doesn't know much about what came before that. He really doesn't. And this is something that Keith goes on about sometimes. He'll really dig into Kevin Feige and criticize him for focusing only on 80s and 90s comics. But I got to be honest, a lot of the best writing happened around in the 80s with Marvel. With the X-Men and with, I love the New Mutants. I loved a lot of that stuff that came out in the 80s. There's some crap in there too, but this is good stuff. So what are we getting into in this article here?
Well, he just goes into how, when Steven Spielberg brought up about superhero fatigue, that the genre will go the way of the Western, he responded to that by saying that the 80 plus years of comic book history means that they've got plenty of stories to tell, and that no one's going to get bored of superhero movies.
Ever.
No. Obviously, there'll be bits and pieces that not everyone likes, or...
Well, the fatigue comes from quality, not quantity. If the shows aren't good, if the movies aren't good, people won't watch them. And that's where we see the fatigue coming from, is bad writing. And, and when we heard that you're not allowed to be a fan and work for Marvel as a writer, I'm like, somebody needs to be fired over that. Because everybody that works in comics, especially writers, should be fans of comics.
Well, look how it fell down when we let's take WandaVision, for example. WandaVision was literally given to us and promoted to us in a way where it had nods to every type of comic book that most people know, whether it be House of M, dealing with storylines with Mephisto and all that stuff. And then by the time it got to the mid-tier of that series, it turned out to be nothing more than a Ralph Bohner. And that Ralph Bohner has now been floating over all of Marvel.
That was a huge mistake.
But that's just it, though. But it created the Ralph Bohner over the rest of the legacy of their content in movies and shows. Well, it is nothing more than a Ralph Bohner.
It's like we've said, I said, look, even Kevin Feige can shit the bed. And Phase 4 was that way. And I'm hoping things aren't looking good so far with Phase 5. I'm hoping they pick up the pace and start getting back to what they were doing, making good Marvel. So WandaVision was great. Fuck you. You don't have to get angry about it. I enjoyed Wanda.
It was garbage by mid-season, and I did enough work. A lot of people can vouch me on that. They gave up on what it was supposed to be.
Well, I didn't give up on it. I continued, but I saw where
it
failed. I saw where it failed.
Yeah.
My problem was Moon Knight. Moon Knight was an absolute abortion, and they completely failed at every level with that. I was ready to give them so much leeway with that too. But when they did what they did to Mr. Knight, I was like, I'm done. But I want to read this one. Each of our sagas are broken into phases, and we now find ourselves on the precipice of phase 2 of the multiverse saga. And there are two ways to do it. One, we look at an overarching narrative, always using the comics and the 80 plus years of Marvel comic history as our guide of what general long-term story we want to do. But really, it comes down to each individual film or series and what type of genre we want to do. I like that statement. That's a good statement. You wrote the article. What are your thoughts on what he said?
Well, everyone's going to have a different opinion on how things work over there.
Right.
Personally, Phase 4, yeah, it had its ups and downs, but overall, I personally enjoyed Phase 4 a lot. Like, there was some I enjoyed more than others, but some that really didn't stick the landing. But overall, I have faith in Kevin Feige and his job, because I feel like, you know, if he had been fired in 2015, it would have all collapsed.
Yeah, but Feige's done for Phase 4 and looking into Phase 5 is go full Amber Heard.
But there was also the other thing, though. As these movies started coming out, didn't Feige start getting rid of the people that helped contribute to why Marvel was so successful? Like, why are we not getting more first Iron Man styles and things like Winter Soldier? Why are we not getting that type of content within the Marvel films? Why are we always waiting?
Things that were popular, exactly.
Yeah,
the things that were making them money.
Yeah. Endgame had more than one meaning.
What's that?
Endgame had more than one meaning, and it started showing the downfall of the Marvel franchise when it came.
Oh,
to
I get what you're saying. That it was ironic. So, and I really didn't feel it was that good. I had problems with it. I felt the previous film was much better in the writing area. And Marvel has collapsed in on itself. We're seeing Disney right now struggle for a reason. And one of the rumors that just came out is that they're considering getting rid of Hulu to try to cut off some of the expenses. Not to make money back, because I don't think they can make any money back right now other than through Marvel. Marvel's the only thing making them money. Star Wars isn't making them money. They're still in the red with Star Wars. They haven't turned a profit with Star Wars yet.
You mean those Rose Ticos aren't selling?
Yeah, that's
they need to cut $3 billion from coming out of the earnings call. Was it yesterday? They need to cut. It may have been the day before, but they need to cut. They said they're cutting $3 billion from like Marvel and from Marvel and Star Wars.
That's interesting. So you have hopes, Kieran, that Phase 5 will be good.
I'm an optimistic person, yeah.
Yeah, I know that about you. It's really fucking annoying. I love you, buddy. No, I like that. You're a very positive, proactive person, whereas I immediately see things probably from a very negative light because I've been around too long, and I've just seen
wrong with that, pal.
I've just seen where things go, and my problem with Marvel technically isn't even Kevin Feige. It's one of his coworkers, who I think is the one who has led to a lot of this problematic issues.
Is that Victoria?
The excessive. Yeah, I don't want to say her name, but yeah, Victoria Alonso. She's led a lot to this silly version of girl power, rather than making actual female characters who are interesting and strong in their own right. They go this route that's just really bizarre and off-putting, and it comes across as really badly done Disney. Some of the best Disney female characters were strong just simply because they were written well, rather than like everything has to be like can't compete with a man. Don't show them compete with a man. They can only compete with other females, and it's like, well, if you don't understand how strength is exhibited, you clearly don't understand that, because you cannot have somebody of the same strength showing strength when they're only in opposition with each other. You have to show somebody against somebody who is, will go larger, and that opposition occurs, and through their ability to survive, fight, and possibly even win, is how you show that. But they absolutely the shows and movies that do succeed at that, like in Marvel, absolutely one of my favorite moments was when Thanos punches Captain Marvel. I was like, and I've made the joke on the show. I said, "That's how you eat a woman," even though I don't feel that. Oh, don't you cringe at me.
It also falls under the aspect too that if we look at the way things are going, it has to do with the thing that they're trying to take away the masculinity of what male heroes are.
Women
They're
have to
taking
be
away the
more
role
masculine
model.
is wrong. That's not true. To be strong, no, strength comes from a lot of things that women do. Taylor Sheridan is absolutely one of the best writers on TV. Actually, he's, in my opinion, the best screenwriter working on TV right now currently. This is something Mikey Sutton and I've talked about. It's like, yeah, he's knocking it out of the park. And nobody writes women like him. He writes women in the most believable, vicious sometimes, kind-hearted sometimes, but don't take shit off anybody, stand their ground. And you watch Yellowstone, Mayor of Kingstown. You can watch the Yellowstone prequels.
Whoa, sorry.
Somebody needs to turn their porn down.
It was not. It was me looking for Star Wars stuff.
You're watching Ironheart. I know you are.
It's not. No.
He likes that Japanese porn because everything's pixelated like his own penis. And Kieran doesn't know how to take that one. Poor Kieran.
The question you should be asking, listeners, is why is Gary remembering my penis and know what it looks like, and how much he paid to ask
to
see
whip
it?
it out, it gets pixelated.
Because you get offended by the size. I'm sorry, it's too big for your mic.
Canada sucks. Hank Pym should hit Wasp anytime now. Oh my God, what? I'm waiting for it, but it won't happen.
No,
well, if you go back to the original movie or the original comics, that was in there, and I think they left it out of the movies. That Hank had abused his wife when he was an alcoholic, and it was interesting the way they did that in the comics. I mean, Marvel Comics, man, got edgy. They got really edgy with characters. Have you read comics, Kieran? Do you read comics at all?
I've read a few over the years. Not many though. I mean, I can't think of any off the top of my head. Like, mostly remember my dad buying me the odd few when I was a kid. Like every Thursday.
American or British?
Bit of both.
Because 2000 AD is like some good shit, and that was out of the UK. Oh my God, I just forgot the name of the comic. Dan Dare was like one of my favorite comics when I lived in the UK. Yeah. I had all posters in my room, Dan Dare posters. Came back to America talking about. People are like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Who's Dan Dare?
I'm like, Dan Dare, and they're like, and so I'm like, oh, they don't have that comic in America. It made me sad because I liked it. It really was good stuff, good science fiction. But anyway, I think that, for Marvel Comics to succeed, they really do need to be more embracive of what came in the comics before, and I think that they'll do better. I think that even though they've been successful with these films, they were far less successful than they could have been.
Oh my God.
I think.
Sorry.
What now?
Add to that. No, I was going to add to that.
Yeah, what?
Honestly, if WandaVision went the way it went, and they had a perfect opening with WandaVision, I'm going to lay this out. This is what bothers me. The way they were hinting at House of M, the way it could have ended is we not only could have got Charles Xavier and Magneto showing up to subdue WandaVision, it would have branched in the X-Men and shown a whole new Phase 4. They could have gone down that road and made Mephisto the main villain of Phase 4 and then fed it into the multiverse. They had a perfect opening with that, and they squandered it for Ralph Boner. It's mind-boggling.
It was a funny joke when it hit, but then it's one of those jokes where it's like, that's what you went for. Yeah. Hey, do you think that Mikey's getting intolerable with his ego over the new TV show and everything in the comics?
No.
No. I like shitting on him a little bit because he's my friend.
The only show that Marvel's done right has been Ms. Marvel.
I enjoyed the crap out of that. I really did. I was really surprised at how good that show was. It was that good.
Some of the What If series were not bad either. The same when you
I like the
Star Wars Visions.
I'm not
right?
into the What Ifs, and so I've not watched any of them. But I liked Marvel. I liked the first 2.5 episodes of Moon Knight. And I actually enjoyed WandaVision. I just thought they missed the mark on a lot of stuff on there. And they showed cowardice in not having Mephisto in there.
Yeah.
Because they set up Mephisto and then didn't follow through.
Funko made a toy of it for the
No,
New
I
York
know.
Comic-Con.
They
don't
absolutely
make toys.
were planning to go that direction. And then it was the whole China thing. China led to the whole thing falling apart. And I'm not going to blame the country of China for it. I'm blaming Disney's love of China for screwing it up.
China. And now they're back in China.
They're back in, baby.
Well, they're opening they're opening a new parking lot next to that camp we don't mention. Sorry.
Didn't South Park make an episode about that?
The new one? Oh, wait, no.
The one where Mickey Mouse is all.
Oh my God! Yeah, Mickey Mouse is great. Did
funny.
you see the new South Park, Kieran?
I haven't seen any recently.
Oh my God! The new one goes after. It's their third Kanye West episode they've done. They do not pull any punches. They let loose on him, and it's so fucking hilarious. I was sitting there. Poor Anna was watching with me, and she's like, oh, I hate this show. It's so badly animated. I don't like the humor. It's not funny. And I'm just sitting there cracking up laughing. It's not funny. And I'm cracking up laughing. I don't find any of this funny. And I'm laughing. And I'm just trying to say there's a big valley between what she and I find funny. It's really what it is. Because that shit cracks me up. I love how they skewer people. And they can do it. Something can happen. And 6 days later, it's on South Park. That blows my mind. That they can put that. What is it? Didn't Kamala Khan have the 4 love interests in the what? Oh yeah. Well, she's your typical girl, and boys are like that too.
She's a teenager
with crushes. Man, teens are ridiculous. I'm still friends. I haven't told Anima this, that I'm still close friends with my first girlfriend in junior high school, and I was so devastated. She disappeared. She just disappeared one day, and then when she came back, she came out as gay, and I thought, what did I do? I thought it was something I did. It's funny as hell. We're still friends to this day. She's great. She's a great person.
We have 2 breaches.
Pick up your breeches.
Well, this is the first one.
Letting your breeches drop like that and showing your ass. Let's see. Let me get some stuff in here. All right, I'll get something. All right, here we go. This one. Boom.
Strong. I'm gonna go check the back door. Back door. Go! Use the back door. I'll stall the crowd. Go.
What the hell for this one?
All right. Where's your fuse box?
It's by the back door.
And what makes that funny is that's the gay character on the show that said it. Because he was totally into that hunky dude. Really good impression. Yeah, Bush McFadden. Oh my God. I just listen to her talking to my ear all the time. And so, fuck you, Bush. I don't sound that retarded. What was that?
You will respect my authority.
Okay, there you go. Why are you mad at me? I'm making fun of Geary. She thinks you're being serious. That's why. That was the classic one. Kanye West. It's like they asked Kanye West, "Do you like fish sticks?" And he says, "Yeah." And he goes, "Do you like to put fish sticks in your mouth?" And he goes, "Yeah." And he goes, "You're a gay fish." And he got really angry in the show. And in real life, the 2 episodes had an impact on his personal life because he watched them. Can you believe that shit? It's like, man, because they criticize him. They're criticizing him for his stupidity. But the fact is, it's not that he's stupid. He's got mental problems. And he gets off his medication, man. And that's what this new episode talks about, is that he's off his medication. And finally, at the end of the episode, Yi, as he's called, it's the little floating fairy version of Cartman, he's basically the Valentine cherub, but now he's spreading. I don't want to use the Nazi word. I don't want to say that word. Yahtzee. I'll say Yahtzee hearts. It's Yahtzee it's the heart with a Yahtzee symbol in it. And he's poking people with this arrows, making them fall in love with Yahtzeeism. And it just fucking was so funny. And basically they're saying, Kanye, shut up. Stop it. Take your medication. Stop it.
Well, King's Porcal is agreeing with that.
My millions. And yep, there you go. But I do want to talk about this. Gina Carano's controversial firing could lead to pointless recasting. This article is by that limey prick, Kieran Bugg.
Wait, they're going to recast?
Yeah.
It's what the rumor is, and this is what you're talking about.
I don't believe it, live.
You don't believe it? I'm hoping not. Because if they bring her back, I believe Jon Favreau should have enough weight to bring her back.
She won't
because she was not technically fired. Hidalgo released it in a way he intentionally. They're going to throw him under the bus eventually for being the one that released it. And we know he's the one who did it for Kennedy. She won't. She was not fired. She just wasn't hired back. Is what happened. And I think that in the end, Favreau has enough, leadership skill and weight. And I'm not saying he's a fat dude because I know he got fat. What I'm saying is he's got the strength from the work that he's created for Lucasfilm Disney. That he's made them money. His stuff is the only stuff that's really popular. Bad Batch. I love Bad Batch, by the way, Kieran. If you haven't watched it, I love that.
I watched it the other day. It was great.
I only missed one episode, and that's one with what's her name, Wanda Sykes' voice. I can't stand her voice. I mean, seriously, I want to punch a baby when she starts talking. I cannot stand that woman's voice. And the entire episode I didn't watch because I couldn't make it past the first 5 minutes. But came back and she wasn't there for the next episode. I went, whew, I can watch this one. She's a terrible voice actor. She's terrible.
Well, she's a terrible actor.
Well, she's a terrible actor. Agreed.
She's a terrible human being, too.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into that. I will do that privately. I won't talk about that on the show. But when it comes to talking professional, I think she's terrible. She's not funny. She's her voice is grating on your nerves. Not in a fun way like those squeaky, nasally girls like on was it Friends, that one girl that Chandler was in love with that had the noise.
Oh, the Wish Fairy
and the nanny,
Fran Drescher.
Fran Drescher.
Yeah, the Wish Fran Drescher.
Yeah, and it's like they talk, that way, and for some it's endearing, but not Wanda Sykes. Wanda Sykes just make you want to just get up and like, oh my God, what's wrong with that woman's voice, and just run away. Poor Kieran, look at him. You make it impossible, mate, for you to be proactive when you do that, Gary.
See, there's two things I can see with this if they want to recast Gina Carano. First of all, you're going to have the same crowd that tried to cancel the first time come back out because they're going to be traumatized by that name in the series. And secondly, you're going to get the opposite side. They're like, you treat her dirty, and now you're just going to replace her. You think this because it's been a couple of years, everything's going to go right. It's like you're falling back on the characters that were loved, and when all you had to do was shut up, tell the activists to shut up, and just produce a show and stay the hell out of the politics. You would have had your formula still there.
Yeah, keep your personal politics to yourself. I say that to even her. What she does on Twitter is nobody's business. People can be stupid and whatever. But when you're out promoting for a show, leave your politics at the door and focus on the damn show. Now, Gina Carano's firing is Cara Dune. I'm going to read your article for you, Kieran. On The Mandalorian could lead to a pointless recasting of the character. While Disney's era of Star Wars projects has so far been divisive, there's undoubtedly been more good content than bad. I'd say it's about a 50-50. I think it's about 50-50.
The only bad I can think of is the sequels.
The sequels and Boba Fett are crap.
Yeah, Boba Fett had its more down than good.
Well, the reason why is because Favreau was cut out. They gave him all the blame, but then wouldn't allow him any creative control. And
Look
so
what's in.
I thought it was Elliot Page that was going to be Cara Dune.
No,
she's going to be Superman.
But there, see, he did it right there. Superman. He doesn't say Superman. He says Superman. I was pointing this out to other people the other day that Martin does that. He doesn't say man. He says man.
Here you go, Gary. Here's your Boba Fett.
What? Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, that's my edit. Yeah, right there.
I really do like that one, dude. The sequel trilogy sadly didn't manage to meet everyone's expectations. Nonetheless, the live-action Disney Plus TV series have surprisingly exceeded them. The most prominent and iconic of which being this service's first show, The Mandalorian. Agreed. It's the biggest thing they've done outside of Bad Batch, and best, in my opinion. The Mandalorian did what the sequels unfortunately couldn't for Star Wars. It gave new life to the classic sci-fi franchise and immediately left fans both old and new enamored. Moreover, the show helped launch Disney's new streaming service in the stratosphere. Upon release, The Mandalorian received heaps of praise from fans and critics for its writing, cast, and characters, particularly its main duo, the Mandalorian himself, Din Djarin, played by Pedro Pascal, and the instantly popular and now iconic Baby Yoda.
Grogu.
Don't call it Grogu.
No, you need to, because what people don't realize is Grogu spelled backwards is
Grogu.
Grogu backwards is actually a marijuana strain.
Oh, that's great to hear. I'm so happy.
It is. That's how stunning.
However, several of the show's supporting characters have become favorites among Star Wars fans, one of which being Gina Carano's badass rebel warrior, Cara Dune. The character made her debut in the 4th episode of season 1. Viewers immediately took a liking to Dune for her wit, and I do believe that is a nod to Dune, because Star Wars was absolutely a Dune ripoff, and Lucas admits to it, that he loves Dune. Physical presence and on-screen combat abilities. Furthermore, Disney even had a spin-off in the mind of Gina Carano's character called Rangers of the New Republic. Unfortunately, these plans were soon dashed when Disney fired Gina Carano. Again, I don't think she was really fired. What it's been said is that she just wasn't rehired to come back. Yeah, it is kind of firing, but it's also not, because John could change that with a word. Carano for making insensitive posts on social media, even though they were equaled by Pablo Pascal. He did the exact same thing, but he did his inaccurately. He used a photo of the wrong country, trying to make the same kind of statement. He said it was America, and it was actually overseas. Or was it Venezuela? It was Venezuela. That's what it was. Images from Venezuela. One of which included comparing her Republican views to the treatment of Jewish people who suffered from the Holocaust or during the Holocaust, which I don't actually have a problem with that, because the behavior is similar to the brown shirts. It is. But, people were pissed at it. You, on the other hand, didn't like it at all. You were like, it's disgusting.
Actually, I didn't. Actually, I think Mikey edited that part in.
Okay, so we're going to tease Mikey on that one. Well done, Mikey. That was the final straw for Gina Carano, and with that, Cara Dune was erased from any of the future Star Wars projects for now. Even merchandise featuring the character was canceled and recalled, even though they sold like hotcakes and made bank for them. The marketing is what's insane about all these decisions. The marketing. Fans hoped that Disney would recast the character, but the studio later confirmed that there were no such plans. A recent report has suggested otherwise, though. According to, giant freaking robot.
I'm not sure if I believe it.
They are the first cousin, because they shared the same mom and dad and uncle. It's inbreeding is what I'm joking at. A giant freaking robot is, we got this covered's first cousin and nephew. and wife. Lucasfilm is now reportedly open to recasting the character. I don't buy anything Giant Freaking Robot says unless they're quoting Mikey Sutton or Geekosity.
Agreed.
So, according to our trusted and proven sources, the part vacated by the former Mandalorian star is up for grabs and will likely be recast with a similarly physically imposing actress. I'm telling you, Favreau could get her back, but a lot of apologies will have to be made. Despite the controversy surrounding Gina Carano, Cara Dune was a welcome addition to the galaxy of lovable characters in Star Wars. On the other hand, the replacement would live under Gina Carano's shadow. I don't think so. Dune's popularity was rooted in Carano's own. It remains to be seen if lightning can strike twice. Look, here's my suggestion. Recast it with Bill Burr. If you're going to do it right. Bill Burr slays me. And you talk about somebody who says controversial shit. That motherfucker. But nobody going to fire him. But overall, yeah, I think you call bullshit on that, and I do too. I don't think that's happening. I think that it's either going to be Gina Carano or they're just going to leave the character out. Another character I like is the dude from Justified. I hope he comes back because he's a cool character. We've already heard
Timothy Oliphant.
What?
Timothy Oliphant.
Timothy Oliphant, yeah. I liked his character. It's basically Justified in space. You know, he's still as good a shooter. Bane is the one who shot him. Cad Bane is the one that shot him, right? Yeah, he's the one who shot him in the Boba Fett series, Book of Boba Fett. A show that I look forward to mildly forgetting, except for a few moments in it that I enjoyed. I kind of wish they'd let the actor get his way and not talk so much and put the helmet back on a lot. He didn't want to take the helmet off. He wanted to do like Mandalorian, walk around with the helmet on all the time. And he was really like, why do you want me to not have the helmet on? And it was like a thing. And apparently that was from Robert Rodriguez, the desire to have him more out and not be like the Mandalorian, which I think is a mistake. That one in the motor scooters was dumb. Did you watch Book of Boba Fett, Kieran?
I did.
Did you like the motor scooters? The Vespas and Tatooine Vespas.
I got him the whole is a guilty pleasure.
No, I liked a lot of it. I liked some of the story, and a lot of it got changed apparently because there was supposed to be more about his relationship with the Sand People and his revenge, and they just trimmed it down and really made it incomprehensible at certain points. And that hokey King Kong ending annoyed the crap out of me. The best part of that season was the Mandalorian stuff.
I love seeing Boba Fett riding on the back of the Rancor tearing the town out. That was awesome. That
was fucking cool. It really was. And I love the scenes when I like the scene where he fought Cad Bane. I did like that scene. It was something that we've wanted for a long time because we never got to see the finished shootout that was in Clone Wars between young Boba Fett and him. So
that's
we finally
got a dent in his helmet, isn't it?
That's exactly where it came from. Cad Bane hit him in the head, knocked the shit out of him.
See, it would have had more of an impact if we actually saw that duel.
I thought they should have shown the duel in the new show. They should have had a flashback of him doing it because they love doing the flashbacks. We'll show an interesting flashback in the duel between Cad Bane and Boba.
Maybe they'll incorporate it into the Bad Batch.
I hope so because I like that show. I really do.
Yeah, I do.
It's well written. Anima started watching it with me, and I got to take her all the way back to the beginning. But to be honest with you, I really even have to show her Clone Wars. Here's the thing with her. She gets frustrated, and I feel bad for her because she over-focuses on not knowing the legacy and the history of these characters and why they exist. And so, I said, stop focusing on it and just enjoy the story unfolding. And we can go back and I'll let you know what things are. I'll tell you what the Easter eggs are. I'll point them out to you. And so she actually really did enjoy those 3 episodes. Out of context, she actually watched the most recent 3 episodes of Bad Batch without having watched any of the other stuff before. and she still was able to enjoy it. And I said, that's what I like about it. Yeah, she likes being informed. And I was going to make a funny sex joke, but I'll leave that out right now.
I'd like to point out that not only was Boba Fett bad, but Kenobi was bad as well.
Yeah, Kenobi, because I defended Kenobi right at the beginning because him having PTSD is a real thing.
Yeah.
I'm like even a Jedi is going to have a form of PTSD. But when they went in the direction they went with it, I was like, yeah, this bringing Leia into it is stupid. And then like constantly running into moments where he's identified in front of her, right in front of her. And they try to do this casual thing that she would look the other way when it was being said. I'm like, she can still hear him being called Kenobi.
Can we like highlight the fact that what he disconnected himself from the Force, but was able to walk around the desert randomly and find his lightsaber?
The Force doesn't work that way. It's like, what is that meme? It's like,
was it find my keys? And he says it was find my lightsaber.
Yeah, it's what is that called though? There's a meme out there that says that's not how something works, and I can't remember what it is.
Well,
that's not how this works.
Oh, that's it. Han Solo. That's not how the Force works.
Remember this one, and this is canon. The crystal can call up to his user. That's how they find their crystals.
But if they're disconnected from the Force, how do they hear that?
That is a point.
That's it. Well, there's a lot of illogical stuff. Part of the problem for the show was they should have done more actual location shooting than working in the round. It worked on Mandalorian. It did not work with Kenobi. You constantly felt really weird. And you discover that in scenes that don't make sense. You have him defeating all these stormtroopers and then walks, can't figure out, how do we get around that fence that we could just walk around or just kind of climb over? It's so stupid, the writing in that and the logic. And then having the female Imperial officer shoot all of the troopers, and that entire carrier pulls up with four troopers. He just killed 6. 4 is too many. And Obi-Wan drops his weapon. I'm like, what in the... And they took forever to get out of the rig.
No, you don't get it. You don't get it, man.
I don't get it, man. Yeah. You don't get it.
He doesn't fight less than 6 troopers. He said, nope.
Yeah, if it's less than 6 troopers, it confuses him. I love Kieran, by the way, I love you in the dark. This is so fucking cool.
Man, do you remember Robocop?
Start writing him, text him, go, what's that behind you? Is that a person?
Do you remember in Robocop 2 when Robo Kane opened his head and it looks exactly the same?
Yeah.
Can we also point out the one thing about the Kenobi that was really bad? Everything.
I don't think there's gradient. Yeah, it's like there's no gradient levels of bad. It's just bad.
No, there is.
It's like when somebody goes, she's very unique.
No, there is.
No, there are gradient levels of uniqueness. You're either unique or you're not unique. There's no really unique.
The whole series could have ended on episode 1 or 2 with the first facing of Darth and the fire. All Darth had to do was choke him in the fire. Once again, over. Instead, we get what was the final episode? Him picking up a bunch of geodes and throwing.
No, not getting into this because I'm going to get irritated again. There's nothing worse than working around because that fire, once again, like the gate, just walk around it. The Force works through fire. By the way, it does. Fire does not diminish the ability of a Force bearer. There's so much stupidity in that. But I love seeing what's his name, Christian
Hayden Christensen.
Hayden Christensen. I love seeing him back. I loved seeing Darth Vader. I just think they wish that they'd been smarter in how they use these characters and done things that would have felt right. Because originally it was supposed to be Luke, him protecting Luke. Yeah. But somewhere along the lines, the Star Wars writers group, who are the enemies of Star Wars fans, as well as Kathleen Kennedy, said, "No, we got to make it a girl. It's got to be a girl."
And then they take that girl and send her down the hallway by herself in the middle of a combat zone.
Yeah, I don't even want to get into that, dude. I lost my mind over that shit, yelling like, "What the fuck? Who wrote this?"
Not to mention Anakin looking like he's 50 in the flashback.
Yeah, it's okay.
No, that's not
It
okay.
was okay. It was okay. It was okay. If you've got a problem with that, man, I don't know how to deal with you, dude. I feel sorry for you. This is my jumping over to Kieran's side. Come on.
No, I had a. Then we have a
It's
problem
nice.
with that.
It was
I fucking
nice. Come
No,
on.
no, I fucking quit.
You quit. All right, we have hit the midpoint of the show. Kieran, I want to thank you for being here, buddy. I love these 2 new articles by you, dude. That's awesome.
Thanks, bro.
Oh, you bet, man.
So you don't love his previous articles? Just
No,
these two?
sometimes his writing is crap, but oh shit, he's here. No. If you guys want to read the article here, I shared the previous article. Here is the new one. Kieran, I before E. Bug article.
Okay.
On
In the meantime,
yeah.
we have to go to break, Gary.
Yep, it is time for a commercial break.
Yeah.
Chanel, take us away. Hi guys, this is Gary from Pop Culture Minefield here on KGRA, and we're leaving for our first break. I hope we survive.
A birthday without her mom, an anniversary without her husband, her wedding day without her dad. These are the days when military families feel it most of all. The loss of their soldier, their sailor, their airman, their Marine, their Coast Guardsman. Families never forget their loved ones lost to war or illness or suicide. Families never forget, and neither do we. We are TAPS, the Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors. We provide resources, support, and comfort to heal the hearts and meet the needs of grieving military families, all at no cost to them. Your generosity can make an enormous difference in the lives of the families of our fallen military heroes. Our military families need to know they are not alone and they are not forgotten. Show them your support at taps.org.
Facing humanity is on the verge of being settled once and for all. The Mutual UFO Network has been at the forefront of this journey for nearly 50 years. Our members worldwide are dedicated to the research, documentation, and awareness that will shape the future of humanity. Won't you join us?
Hey members, the new KGRA DB app is now available on iOS and Android devices. Gain on-demand access to any KGRA DB programming. Download any show directly to your mobile device to listen or watch on the go. Go to the App Store and search KGRA DB.
Oh wow, we survived. Welcome back to the commercial break. Now for some more Pop Culture Minefield on KGRA. Yeah, man. Kieran, I want to thank you a lot, buddy, for showing up again. You're always such a trooper. You really are.
It's good being here, man.
Because it's what, about 8, 9 o'clock now there,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. It's lights out, mate. You guys do anything tonight? Anything this weekend?
Well, I'm looking after my niece this weekend, bless her, because it's my nephew's birthday, so him and his parents are off somewhere, and my niece, she's only a year old, bless her, so got her for the weekend.
Yeah, at that age, they don't quite understand. Why is everybody paying attention to so-and-so? And odds are you're going to get bad behavior from a kid that age because they're not the center of attention.
Not likely. She's an angel.
Oh, really? Then why did they not invite her?
Because it's the older child who...
Oh, can be.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. I'll give you that one. She's an angel, mate. Gary only has 6 fingers. Yes, I type like this. I never took typing in school. Did you take typing?
Me?
Yeah. In school.
We didn't really have a typing. We didn't have a typing class, no.
We did, but I didn't take it.
I did too.
I took a foreign language instead, and I type with these fingers. I curl these under and I type like that, like ET, phone home, and I just always type that way. But Bush had asked if I only type like that, and I'm like, no, I actually type. I use my thumbs for the space bar, and also when I have to hit the shift and cap lock, I use my thumbs.
Yeah.
But anyway, I never learned to type formally, so that's how I type, and I still type right about 100 words a minute because I've actually gotten jobs doing transcription and such. Mostly because I don't make a lot of grammatical errors when I'm working. Not a lot. I do make them, but I took dictation in school, first computer lab. Let's go here. I'm not old. You're a young man. So anyway, Kieran, I want to thank you a lot. I don't know who's going to be here next week. I'm going to push Mikey to make the decision early so we can know, not like just the day before.
Yeah.
So I can know whether I'm bugging you or bugging him.
Oh,
but anyway, yeah. So, but it's deeply appreciated, Kieran. I love having you on, man. And I love supporting Geekosity magazine and my friends.
Great to talk to you all.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, buddy. And hey, cheers. Have a great weekend, and hope to see you next week. If not, the next time you're on.
Bye, Kieran.
Bye, Kieran.
Bye, guys.
Bye now. So, good show. I love Kieran. He really is. He's one of my favorite people. And it's funny. He's once again, I knew him personally before he went to work with Mikey. We were already friends. Like Baum. Baum was my friend before he introduced me to Mikey. And of course, Baum is his manager. And I told you that story where he's like, you need to check out Mikey Sutton. I went, oh, who's this? And I go and I check it out. And then I find out he's his manager. I'm like, you sneaky motherfucker. Fucking pushing your fucking product on me. But you know what? I think Keith went back to sleep.
Yeah.
I got the sneaking suspicion he went back to sleep. What is this? Oh, somebody posted the pictures of Fuel Up over in our members window. Who posted those? Oh, Monkey Jeebus did. That shit's amazing, man. Yeah, I can't say enough good things about that stuff. And I hate feeling like I'm buzzed, but I do like the feeling of being energized. And that's what that stuff does. Fuel Up is amazing. And if I'm not drinking Fuel Up, I'm drinking Mountain Dew. Well, Diet Mountain Dew. And because I'm not supposed to have my sugar. Stephen, are you even here still?
Yes, I am here. I'm waiting for your lovely stories about Mountain Dew.
I'm talking because nobody else is talking.
Well, because you have the dramatic pause of Captain Kirk, so when you stop, we don't know if you're going to
mean?
A sentence or not.
What are you trying to say?
Exactly what
with those
said.
Words. I'm sorry. What?
Sorry. I just saw the most horrible thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, really?
Reflection?
No, God damn it.
Sorry.
No, John Cena in a skirt and heels.
Nobody needs to see that, man. Nobody needs to see that. Don't you share that with us. We don't want to see it.
I'm not sharing it.
Good.
I shall endure that pain.
All by yourself. I want to welcome Dork Knights here, by the way. Alex Moore. Let's see. Peter Hickman Fansite is here. Small Time Republic. And Parrothead has joined us. So good to see all you guys. I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Good. I got everybody. So good to see everybody. Happy Friday. I hope everybody's having a good Friday.
There's Keith.
Yeah, he's being very quiet, though. We just talked about you. I thought you just went back to sleep.
No. I've had several issues today. How's everyone doing?
So far so good. Kieran was awesome.
Cool, as always.
Yep, he was. He has 2 articles this week. One about Cara Dune, and the other one was about the interview with Kevin Feige.
Oh, jeez.
And my girlfriend says, Keith!
Hello, Anima. Peter Venkman fan site. Yeah. Sorry, I'm a little hobbled today. Well, look, it's good to know that Kevin Feige is still doing interviews and trying to pretend that he's still in charge. So,
yeah, look, you know as well as I do that Victoria Alonso's thrown a lot of weight around, and she's got the support of a lot of people over at Disney to do it, and it's causing problems for Marvel. And,
well, the chart they came up with on Midnight's Edge, the one that Andre put together, is definitely something that I, in my mind, have been thinking for quite a while.
And what's this chart? And do you have a reference?
It's the chart that they came up with this chart detailing how business has gone, box office wise, since Endgame. And when you look at this was Midnight's Edge After Dark last night, and Tom presented it, and it's pretty much what I had thought. Now, based on their findings, it looks like they kind of like what Star Wars has done and having their audience, basically having their audience. Basically, they turned away or turning off at least half their audience that they had when they started. It looks like Marvel has taken everything down by a third, and it's getting worse. It's not going so well. So, it's Peter, pain will do that. But no, it's it really isn't financially going well. But it also explains what Bob Chapek was looking at. And when he told everyone that he didn't, it seemed like he wasn't caring what was going on with Pixar, and he wasn't caring what was going on with Lucasfilm, but that he was going to try to work directly with Marvel, because there's still something to save there. And with Iger back, I'm not really thinking that there is much they're going to be able to do. I think eventually they're going to hit that same mark, just like Lucasfilm has with Star Wars. They're going to have, they're only going to have half an audience left. And box office wise, the amount of money that they're bringing in just isn't cutting it.
Well, this is something I brought up earlier, Keith, is that the problem with Marvel and Disney is they're leaving half the money.
Yes.
Their marketing plan is ignoring half the money they could be making.
Hey, Queen.
Arwen's here. What's up, girl? Y'all looking good. Oh, Lord, I got the vapors.
She's the newest star out there. Let me just say.
She's my other favorite ginger after my girlfriend.
I mean, it's hard not to just, it's hard just not to love her and her show. So
that's okay.
Anyway,
I love her. Her show's okay. She talks way too much about dinosaurs.
It's all good. It's all good, Arwen.
I'm
Double
teasing
A,
Arwen.
baby.
I'm teasing you.
Anyway,
she said it was great to see you last night.
Yes, it was great to actually.
We would actually like to see you now.
That's not possible at this point.
Why you didn't put your makeup on?
Yeah. I still got the white guy look going on. So,
because I tell people all the time, you're white. It's a filter and makeup. Yeah, totally. Yeah, Keith's blackfacing it all the way. Did you see that, by the way? Somebody actually got pissed. It wasn't a joke. Got pissed when white people use memes and animated GIFs with black people in them.
Digital blackface.
Digital blackfacing. It's a thing. Look it up. I've been joking about that for years, right?
Yeah, you have.
Fuckers, they're fucking being serious. And it's like, get a fucking life, man.
I could have made some money off that.
Fucking life.
I could have made a lot of money off that.
Hey, look, I don't want to do it, but fuck it. I'll do it right now. I'm blackface and posting that.
It's funny if that sounded you, sir. Are racist.
You, sir, are racist. And what that is, that's a great photo of him I took at his birthday. That look you gave me when I took the photo was awesome.
That's my surprise look.
Yeah, your fake surprised look.
Yeah.
The surprise look was, Gary, you're standing upright.
Well, you know, I've had an opportunity to watch a lot of older films, and for a person my age, when I say older films, for a lot of you youngsters, that's real old films to you.
Oh, so, before the 70s.
Before the 70s.
That's right.
You know, in order to, you know, basically to illustrate to a majority of white people that you're surprised, you have to make sure that you're
those fucking crackers.
You gotta go with the big saucer eyes. That way they know you're surprised.
No. My film collection goes back to the 20s, so
I have a few films, like horror films in particular. I collected all the.
I like horror films too.
Lon Chaney, anything with Lon Chaney in it that's available, I have. Donnie Pearson, what's up?
I got some silent stuff.
And you know, not to poke fun at you, but you liking something that's silent doesn't surprise me. I love it when he shakes his head. God damn it.
Well, look, I usually can't get a word in edgewise.
Whatever. Like I said to Steven, I'm talking because nobody else is. Nothing will kill a radio show than people not fucking talking. And my job has always been to fill, not to be gross, but fill the holes.
Phrasing.
Phrasing. But good afternoon, Donnie. How you doing, man? They long to be. What is this? What is this? Unleashed Raid. Hello. Oh, is this Podcast? Oh, awesome, dude. Podcast. That's awesome. Love podcast. Hello, guy. Fat Steven Seagal, Das Wolfen, all of you. Hope everyone is well, despite the passing of not just Burt Bacharach, the artist Chris Brown from Hagar the Horrible.
Yeah.
Is gone. We lost him too. But Burt Bacharach's a huge loss to, Keith in particular. And I'm a big music guy. It's one of the things that Brian, that 70s rock fan, and I bond over is talking about either classic movies or classic music.
Well, and I got to say that when I was really young, Dionne Warwick was someone whose voice and music I always heard. I had no idea who was writing the stuff for her. And so
we don't think about that shit when we're kids.
Yeah, it's not
right around our tweens to teens is when we start learning that.
Yeah, shit. And you start understanding that, hey, here was this extremely talented black woman who was singing songs written by a pair of white guys, basically. And when you have a group like the Fifth Dimension, and they're able to have hits.
Let's not forget Carol Bayer Sager too.
Oh, geez, yes. But I mean, when you look at the Fifth Dimension, who for me was just one of those groups I remember as a little kid. I just loved those guys. I loved their harmonies, and to take a song like One Less Bell to Answer, and just, ooh, geez, gosh, that takes me back. But again, it was, to me, there's not very many people during the 60s that you could say was really able to bring artists of all backgrounds, races, and creeds together just through music. And that's what he did, like I said, they took some of his music, and my twin brother had a class where they were teaching our algebra and other things to the tunes of his music. And they were taking songs like I Say a Little Prayer and stuff and using it to teach kids about basic math and other subjects. And I just thought, wow, So yeah, I became a big Burt Bacharach fan because
and I want to share this too real quick, Keith. You can continue talking, but this was Seal's cover of Walk On By.
Oh, Seal.
And I know we're going to get claim on this one. It's okay. I'll mute it later. But I just want to play a few seconds of his voice on this. He was perfect on this.
Yeah.
That. His cover of that song is amazing.
Well, you have to be good if you're going to look. There was something about having really about him still being alive and listening and watching as all these artists continue to record and re-record his songs. So you knew that if you were going to put it out there, it better be good.
Yeah.
I mean, there was also a cover by this one group from the 90s. God, and this is a cover of one of his songs that I'll remember it later, but I mean, it was a group that had a lot of success in the 90s. And they ended up recording one of his songs, and it was just like, wow. I mean, if you can get a group that was part of the grunge music and music scene of the 90s to record one of those songs, you've got to be special. You've got something. I could go on for way too long about him, but I mean, for a lot of you that have never really sat down to listen to his music, you should. I know there's not a movie based about his life, although I think there's a few documentaries and interviews. You should, because just pick any. I mean, he's got at least 4 or 5 different complete collections of his work out there. It's just who is singing sometimes, and I think he's at least 2 of them are him playing, whether it's him just singing and having arranged an orchestra or him on piano, singing all of his hits. And
yeah, he's actually got a good voice.
The guy was.
And by the way, I wanted to comment because Monkey brought up Isaac Hayes, and I want to point out, Isaac Hayes did an instrumental. He didn't sing on it, so his version can't be better because it's a different interpretation of it. It's just an instrumental, but it is a great instrumental. I do like it. His guitar work on that, it's a good song.
Well, you have, again, if you're gonna take one of his songs out there and record it, you
do something with it.
Yeah,
do something new and original. Nothing worse, in my opinion, than someone trying to sound like the original version.
Yeah.
Interpret it. Do it in a new way. Find a new way to do it. I received a lot of good criticism when I did Leonard Cohen's one of Leonard Cohen's songs, and 3 critics said, you really went in a different direction. I went, yeah, thank you. That's what musicians should do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I like what Isaac Hayes did, man. I really did. But I want to point out that we haven't talked about what we need to talk about.
Yes,
which is,
I'm here to talk about that.
And we've got some big news. And Danny is here. I'm going to go ahead and bring him on. Here he is. Danny.
Finally, I'm not the one derailing your show.
No, well, we're talking about a death. So it's a monumental death. Losing Burt Bacharach's huge.
Yeah.
But I do want to get to the subject because what happened here is we've got some serious stuff going on in the background. And one of them that just sort of bleeped onto my radar in the middle of the night was Christian Bale supposedly being back in play to play Batman. And I don't know where this is, coming from. It was because I asked Mikey Sutton about it, and because I've said I've not heard anything about this. What is this about? But Cosmic Book News is the one that posted that story, and I was like, I love Matt Goins. We're friends, and I'm like, wow. So if it was a giant freaking robot, we got this covered. I immediately just ignore it. But Matt Goins posted this in his magazine, online magazine. I'm like, maybe there's something to this. So I'm curious of where this is going, because Christian has already made it clear 3 times in 3 different interviews that he, as Stallone would say, I still got something in the basement. Trying to describe that he's still ready to fight some more. That he's not done with Batman. And I don't think we need to bring back Christopher Nolan. But I would like to see that Batman do something new. But the odds are Christian Bale will demand that Nolan be involved. I just don't know if Nolan wants to do it. He needs a hit. He's not doing too well.
Would you really want someone else? Let's just say this. Let's say Nolan doesn't come back and Bale comes back as Batman and they hand it over to the person who wrote Birds of Prey. Gary, do you really want that? Exactly.
No,
that face speaks it all. Right? Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah. Nolan would be the best fit. And it probably would make up for Tencent as well with all the sound issues they had in theaters and stuff.
Yeah. I just, I don't know if Nolan will come back. But he is at a point right now in his career where he could use a hit. And I don't mean in a bad way, a good hit, a hit film. Because his last two projects just didn't go. And especially Tenet. And he
what was
needs
the other one?
Fuck if I remember. I don't remember everything. No. Jesus Christ.
Interstellar?
Yeah, Interstellar. And don't get me wrong, I love the science in that film, but what a yawner of a movie. But it is a beautiful film.
I like both films.
They're beautiful. Oh, Tenet's got good stuff in it. I like it. I like the fact that he obsessed, because he clearly has OCD. Nobody writes like that unless they have OCD. No arguments? No debate?
Yeah.
Nothing?
No.
I don't know.
Go with it.
I don't know.
Fuck you guys. So, but anyway, I'm curious where this is going to go. And let me find Cosmic Book News and find the article.
Oh, I already have it up if you want it.
Oh, you do? If you can share the link with me in the private chat, because I didn't pull it up.
Amazing.
There you go.
Thank you. Open in new tab. There we go. And I'll share screen. Share screen.
If they're going to bring back Bale, why didn't they just keep Ben Affleck?
Look, there was problems, and I'm telling you, I believe these rumors that Affleck was waffling, and that's what led to James Gunn rebooting everything. I think David Zaslav got frustrated with Ben Affleck and said, "Fuck it, reboot it all." So somebody's typing.
Sorry.
Who's typing?
It's not me.
Somebody's typing with all their fingers, not just 6. So yeah, let me go look at this article here. So Christian Bale rumored back as Batman. This is by Matt McGloin. He says Christian Bale might be back as Batman according to new rumors and speculation that surrounded the DCU reboot from James Gunn and Peter Safran. The rumor has to do with Flash movie, where it has been reported that various scenes have been removed due to Gunn's planned reboot. Anything that involved Ben Affleck.
Well, I shared an article yesterday, I think it was, that Michael Keaton's out now, apparently.
Yeah, but they're still going to... It looks like he's still in the poster. I've got it right here.
Batman's in the poster.
Right here. That is Michael Keaton's Bat wing.
Where?
In this poster on the screen. Look at the screen.
Oh.
That is the design look of the Bat. That's where he would go to the vault to get his Bat costume.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that is the Bat wing from Batman.
Yeah, but how old is this poster?
It just got released.
Came out.
It just got released.
It did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
It's a Flash movie, but it's 90% Batman.
So I think that this was something that was promised to Keaton. And I think that when Ben Affleck waffled, they went back to Keaton. And I think that the consideration here, and I'll go back and finish reading here. The rumor is to do with the Flash movie, where it has been reported that various scenes have been removed due to Gunn's planned reboot, which includes Ben Affleck. It claimed that the end of the Flash movie has been big changes with the removal of Michael Keaton Batman and Sasha Calais Supergirl, not to mention Henry Cavill Superman. To be clear, that doesn't mean that the Keaton Batman has been totally removed from the movie, as Gunn confirmed Keaton is a star of the film and that he wouldn't be able to cut Keaton. Just that possibly the plan to feature Keaton at the end to continue with the cape and cowl has been nixed. According to what was reported, you should say, originally the Michael Keaton Batman, I swear to God, all my friends that run these online magazines need proof editors. Originally, and by the way, did you notice Kieran doesn't? Kieran proofs his stuff before he goes online. I love that about him. Originally, the Michael Keaton Batman was going to serve as the mentor to Sasha Calais Supergirl and the Leslie Grace Batgirl, who has been canceled and was supposed to be the new Supergirl of DC. However, now that Gunn is going with his new Superman, it's thought Sasha Calle won't be his choice to play Supergirl. It seems that the scenes at the end of The Flash have been changed to lead to reflect the new DCEU, which seems Keaton and Calle are out. That's sad because I wouldn't mind seeing more Keaton. According to the latest rumor, a former Batman is going to cameo at the end of The Flash, who could potentially stick around as a new. Oh boy, okay. I'm going to share this article with Sutton. Anyway, Grace, fuck her, who spilled the beans on Gunn's Amanda Waller series, came up with the rumor. Oh, I fucking even hate reading something she talked about.
Yeah.
Randolph. Oh, God, I got to skip ahead. Val Kilmer is definitely out, obviously. And George Clooney has made fun of his role. He'll never do it. Rumors have also offered Ben Affleck might be directing The Brave and the Bold, so Affleck might actually be directing Christian Bale as... See, that's something right there, I'd be cool with that. If they don't get Nolan, I would love Christian Bale to be directed by fucking Ben Affleck.
Well, it would certainly be something that would go against something that he had already been interviewed about. One of the things about Christian Bale,
being Affleck.
No, Christian Bale.
Bale. Okay.
When they were in the middle of making his Batman films, everybody was asking at one time about, hey, are we going to see Robin? This is after Batman Begins. And Bale gave an interview saying he doesn't want that. He wasn't about that. So this is a big, if he decides to go with this is a complete change of pace from what he had said before about having Batman with Robin. Any Robin, really. So we're gonna get a slightly different Batman. Look, personally, I wouldn't mind if George Clooney came back, but at his age and given how much he cost, I don't think, I mean, if it's just a cameo, I could see that. But I mean, Christian Bale would definitely be good. He's still a quote unquote young man. And
well, what's wrong with Affleck? I mean, he's already been...
Affleck, the problem that we're hearing was that he was waffling with David Zaslav. And it pissed him off, and that's why what happened. That if he can't have Ben Affleck, then fuck the Snyderverse cast. And that's when Gunn and Safran were greenlit to do what they did. To basically unhire everybody. People go, well, Cavill wasn't really hired. I said, he was told to announce. That's as good as fucking signing a contract.
Yep.
Man, I don't know.
It's unprofessional as fuck.
I don't like Bale's. I've never liked Bale's Batman.
I was okay with it. I really enjoyed it. It's not a DC Universe Batman. But it could very well become that. He would easily fit with Heath Ledger's Joker or with the current iteration of Joker, because they're more real world Jokers, Heath Ledger and Joaquin Phoenix.
I don't think Joaquin can be lured to do anything beyond what he's doing.
I don't think he'll do it because he doesn't want to do that stuff. He doesn't want to do DC Universe. He wants to just play this character.
I think playing this character the way that he's played it, and the fact that you don't have it connect to any other comic book universe, let alone any other character, even that's remotely even like Batman as far as the nighttime activities and everything, I think that's kind of exciting for him, because now he gets to fill the screen and allow this character to breathe. And I think that's really what he likes about playing the Joker. There's a freedom to not having to worry about having to fight somebody and do the, you got to remember that you're the villain. And the moment you bring Batman into that story, it's no longer centered on him anymore. And people are going to be judging whoever plays Batman against him. So I don't think Batman is really long for something they're going to do with those films. It's too distracting.
Yeah. And with Shazam 2 coming out, I'm fearing it's not going to do well. I think it's going to do about the same that Black Adam did. And It's a mistake.
I mean,
it's the DC keeps making the same mistake over and over again with their sequels, and it's a huge mistake.
Well, I think that I think what's going to hurt Shazam is all this Henry Cavill stuff, because I don't know if you guys remember, I kept championing, just shouting from the mountaintops that Cavill was going to be making a surprise cameo in both Black Adam and Shazam. So we know definitely it's not going to happen in Shazam now, and I don't. And I think the only reason James Gunn said in his announcement that Shazam's always been in his own universe, so that's no problem. I think he's just saying that because he's saddled with these movies are coming out, and they want people to still see them. But people like me, I have no interest in seeing it now. And the Popcast guys disagree with me. Salty Nerd disagrees with me. That's fine. I have no desire to see it unless you guys come tell me it's great. I need to go watch it. Maybe.
Let me ask you something. Were you a fan of the Shazam comic books? Not of the Saturday morning show, not of
I never
because we've never got the comic books since the TV show, and the TV show wasn't even the comic book.
I never even saw the TV show or the cartoons or he was never on my radar.
Let me help you with something. The thing about the Captain Marvel comic books was that this film, the Shazam film they put out, is not based on that. It is based on a newer version of the character, which is really what a lot of these adaptations, and this has been the complaint with both not only DC but with Marvel, in choosing runs of characters that didn't do very well with fans. Okay? There are characters there are ways that you can tell that somebody is an OG fan when they start referencing characters and things that you didn't see in the movie that they said should have been in the film. For instance, this whole thing about the Shazam family, that is not an idea from the comics prior to 10 years ago. Okay? All there was Billy and Mary and Junior, and that was it.
Well, there's Grandpa, too.
Was Mary's last name Sue?
There's Uncle Dudley.
Yeah.
Who wanted to be a superpowered hero, and his whole thing was he never had any powers. And then you had Mr. Tawny, the talking tiger. And then I keep forgetting the name of the kid that was the kid with the unusual good luck. There's this one character who this kid is like lucky in everything he does. And he just happens to be a fan.
Kind of like Domino, like the DC version of Domino.
Yeah, but he wasn't a hero. He was just a regular kid. But he would often find himself in adventures. He'd never really get hurt. But the Shazam comics had its own unique way of presenting the world, and in a real unusual kind of backwards way. Even though that they've made this movie that people liked, it kind of had the same effect of when they made the X-Men with the leather uniforms. You kind of could tell that we're going to make the movie, but we're not really going to give you the comic. We're going to give you a version of it that we think you find acceptable.
I understand when you want to have more mass appeal. I get that.
Yeah.
But don't take so much away from it that it's unrecognizable.
And that's what they've done. And so it's really, it really is a hell of their own making as far as the Shazam. Look, do not get me wrong. That Shazam film, that first one, is really good. But it is not an adaptation of what Shazam actually is. They could have had a few more characters in there that would have brought in really the rest of the family. I mean, for them, you had to give a whole bunch of people of different backgrounds and races powers in order to invite them in. You could have done the same thing by adapting the rest of the characters that were with Captain Marvel from his introduction way back in the 30s. You could have done that. And you could have integrated some of these characters, newer characters, in with those characters. But they decided not to do that. So, really, they've cut themselves off from that. So...
Yeah. But look, we're again in the weeds here because what we were moving into is the Joker, the sequel to the Joker.
Oh, so we're done talking about the Batman stuff?
Because, Bale, if he's in, that's awesome. I think that'd be great. I love the idea of Ben Affleck. But this is, I wanted to, because we started to transition over to this, and then we ended up in Shazam.
Oh yeah,
and I want to go into this because I'm actually intrigued by this. because the name comes from the French term. I'm not going to try to pronounce it because I don't need any more bullshit from Anima, criticizing my shitty French. But it is a shared disorder, mental disorder. Usually, it's within like a family, and it's where you have people who have the same disorder. And whether it's genetic or not, that's the question. That was the research of what it was about. Is this genetic or is this something that's learned? This mental disorder.
So what's the title? If somebody else will try to butcher, because I guess I don't know.
It's Joker Folie à Deux, and it's supposed to be a musical.
Doesn't "do" mean two? Isn't it like the part "do"?
Multiple. Yeah,
Sorry.
it's two.
Okay.
Two people sharing the same disorder, and folly. From the original French meaning, to be not grounded. And so you have Joker already in the middle. Merde is what I have to say to you. So anyway, the idea that it's a musical, actually, I made fun of it at first being a stupid idea until I learned what they were planning to do. And then I went, oh, that it's, because once again, he's an unreliable narrator, his character, and that he's having a musical in his head, that he sees things this way is interesting. When he meets the and I don't know what Lady Gaga is going by in the film. I know that it's supposed to be
Harleen Quinzel.
Yeah, and but she apparently suffers from the same disorder he does. And so, therefore, they have shared fantasies. And I'm like, I'm all in.
Well, yeah, especially it's going to be a musical, and the outfits I've seen her in. The outfits I've seen her in. Oh my God! I mean,
well, again, this wanders completely. Look, this is, I think, not what the previous people at Warner Brothers, the previous people that ran Warner Brothers, was thinking. They just wanted a Joker 2 because, they messed up. They messed up completely with the first film. And it was never planned to have a sequel. Let me repeat that. It was never planned to have a sequel.
Thank you, Zach. That reminds me of an ex-girlfriend of mine. Anyway, go ahead. Never planned to have a sequel. Sorry.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, that's what you need to understand, that this is a film that was completely put together to help a certain person who had screwed up try to keep their job, which he, didn't, because he still got fired.
Yeah.
And Zach's isn't wrong, but the actual medical definition is 2 or more.
Oh, so is this show on KGRA?
Yes.
So for those who can't see what we're talking about, he says whatever that folie à deux, whatever, I don't speak anything, is based on the
folie à
idea.
deux is based on the idea that 2 together multiply the severity of a disorder. That's not the actual medical definition of it, to where they do things they wouldn't have done alone. That's true. That's part of the disorder. And the question is this a shared mental illness or is this a learned mental illness? And they discovered a lot of it within families who are close-knit. And so the research started going in that direction, going, is this possibly a learned thing? And I'm wondering if the disorder affect is going to be that because they suffer from the same mental disorder or similar, that they have an impact on one another and they begin to have shared fantasies, and which leads to these musical scenes. The delusion, the fantasy musical delusion.
When's this coming out? Because that sounds.
But
great.
you're not wrong, but you're also not fully right there, Zach.
Yeah.
Man, this sounds. The plot for this film sounds remarkably like
codependency. This is far beyond codependency, but codependency is bad. But well, to a certain extent, normal codependency is okay. It's when it becomes excessive that it becomes a problem. What were you going to say, Keith? I'm sorry.
This sounds like one of Zack Snyder's movies.
Oh, Sucker Punch, yeah.
It sounds a lot like Sucker Punch. I mean, I'm still wanting to see it, but I mean, wow.
Yeah, and I'll go ahead and share that image. I kind of like that image. Someone did the makeup. Oh, my tinnitus just went off because of something.
Oh, that's cool.
Air. There was air in somebody's audio, and it just triggered my tinnitus.
Here's my thing. Wouldn't it be completely bonkers if this film ended up getting nominated for multiple Academy Awards again? And wow, I mean, wow.
And by the way, hi AF Watcher 88. I'm sorry I didn't say hi to you. I forgot. But yes, good to see you. Good to see you, and good to see you too, Zax. I sent you a private message, Zax. I don't know if you read it yet. I haven't had a chance to go over to Twitter. But man, this is just fascinating stuff. Dude.
It is.
I'm really looking forward to this. I really am. I really wasn't at first until I realized what they're doing, and then I went, oh. Yes, I'm in. Hi, Penny.
Hello, Penny.
So, and what's the last thing we're going to talk about here before we end the show is
Constantine 2.
Constantine 2. And the big news here is the fact that everybody was saying that it was canceled. And the words we were hearing is, no, it is not. It's moving forward. And we had heard very early on that it was going to continue under the label of Elseworld.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. Okay,
and this has of course been confirmed by Mikey Sutton too, and that Gunn is going to do his thing, but Elseworld is protected; it's its own thing, and I imagine they're going to have somebody at the head of Elseworld who will handle all the stuff from there. Because I have wanted for years, since the '80s, I've wanted to see a live action Gotham by Gaslight. Yeah, I hated the animated version. It was so stupid. It's not the comic book. It's not the graphic novel at all. It's nothing like it. But I got to tell you, a live action version of that book would be something else. Jack the Ripper, Batman, boom.
This really is, I think, the biggest and best news out of everything that they announced, because this takes them beyond Kevin Feige and the MCU. If they can get this working, and technically they already have, they've already seen this work, because that's what I call the original Phase 1. All the films they released in the early part of the 2000s, whether it be Red 2, The Losers, and a History of Violence, and
great movie and great graphic novel.
Yeah. They've done this, and again, I've said it before. Kevin Feige talked about this. He talked about this being the one thing that that Warner Brothers does with their DC that is kind of perplexing to him at this point. Because
DC has a sequel problem.
Yeah, they do. But I mean, if they ever figured it out, they'd be off to the races, because a lot of this stuff's already been nominated for Academy Awards before. And so, all this excitement for the Marvel fan out there going, oh, we finally got it. You guys are way behind Warner Brothers and DC at this point. I mean, there's a very good chance that if this film, Joker 2, is even half as good as the last one, they could very well be going for another Academy Award. I mean, it's something to think about. But I can see a lot of actors wanting to really just get an opportunity to be Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, and not have to affect the stories that are being told from James Gunn's area of everything. So this really does free them up, because it allows a lot of actors who probably either would have gotten a chance or never would have gotten a chance, really, to play some of these parts. This is great news.
Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck coming back and doing Red Son.
Oh, jeez.
I want to tell you guys something. I just got a message from our good buddy Shinatsky, who's not here today for some reason, that he is trying to line up for us to have the armorer from the TV series SEAL Team.
Cool.
As a guest, I would really like that. Talk weapons. I always love doing that. But yes, DC has a definite Lex Luthor problem. I mean, it started in '78 with Superman the motion picture, or Superman the movie, because love Gene Hackman as that Lex Luthor, but that is not Lex Luthor. We have had no Lex Luthor yet, in my opinion, come close to Lex Luthor in the comics, in the films. I wouldn't even say even the TV series Smallville came close. I think they had problems. Lionel seemed more close to Lex than Lex was. So definitely DC has a Lex Luthor problem, and we need to get the guy who can take Superman on. That's what we need. The human that actually absolutely believes, because that's the best part of a villain, is that they think they're right.
Yeah, they can outthink you.
They think they're justified. They think they're the hero. And because there's nothing worth, like we learned in Falling Down. No, this is not a joke about you, Dust Wolfen. I'm actually talking about the movie Falling Down. But in that movie, when he discovers he's the bad guy, he's devastated.
Yeah.
At the end, I'm the bad guy. The look on his face, he was crushed to learn that. Yeah. It broke his heart, and he accepted death because he would rather be dead than to live as the villain. That was something else. I love that. And Lex Luthor is like that. Lex Luthor absolutely 100% believes that Superman is a threat to all life on Earth. And he's not completely wrong either. When you look at the fact that a majority of the villains that come into existence because of Superman.
He's, you know what?
Even he himself wouldn't be a villain if Superman didn't exist.
Let me offer this. If you're really wanting to cast someone to be Lex, think of someone who is like Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Except...
Well, yeah, because Bush even made that comparison.
Yeah.
That Lex and Bruce are very similar characters.
They are very similar people. The only difference is that Lex, who he is, what you see, he's able to present a certain way of being in front of cameras. He's constructed this whole thing for the general public to see versus who he is in secret, which is his real self. And he wears his mask to protect everything that he does versus Bruce, who... really, that's his disguise because Batman is who he really is. And both of them are very intelligent men. Both of them have gotten the best of Superman. So, I mean, it really is two sides of the same coin. Except one's a good guy and the other one thinks they're the good guy. So
right.
Sorry.
No. I wanted to point out, because we're coming up towards the end of the show here. I want to make sure to mention some stuff. We had Rod Lurie on Wednesday. That was a great show, Keith. That was really good. I love him as a guest. He is just such an amazing guest. He was on Dangerous Military Nerds on Wednesday. And that's the first show I created just for KGRA. And man, he's a good guest. I wish we'd been able to keep him for the full 2 hours, but he has appointments and stuff, and I told him not to worry about it.
Yeah.
But what a great interview with him. And if you guys haven't checked that out, I highly recommend going back and rewatching our Wednesday Dangerous Military Nerds show. Because Rod Lurie, the director of The Outpost, The Contender, God, he's done so many. Actually, I'd like the movie Straw Dogs. I don't like it as much as I like the original, but I do like it. I think it's a very good film. Goes from a new angle that I thought was interesting. And like he said, there's no point in doing a film if you don't have your own perspective on how you're doing it. And he also did the movie The Last Castle with Robert Redford. Mm-hmm. And if you have not seen that movie, dude, go watch it. This guy, he got nominated for The Contender. He should have been nominated for every one of his films. Yeah. And especially the movie The Outpost. It should have been nominated for Best Movie. Best adaptation from source previously published material. Should have gotten both for screenplay and for the film.
Yeah.
I don't know if the actors should have gotten it, even though they all did a solid job. Scott Eastwood, Tyler and what's his name? Orlando Bloom. They all did fantastic jobs. Great acting. What makes that movie is the writing and the direction. What a fucking movie. And we got, he's in our hip pocket. Rod likes Keith and me. Well, he really likes Keith. He tolerates me. And put ups with me. I won't even say tolerate. He just puts up with me so he can talk to you. But what a great interview. And he's so much fun to talk to.
Yeah,
and anybody who calls Danny DeVito a walking testicle with arms and legs is absolutely, in my book, an awesome human being. Yeah, he got a lot of shit for that. He got in trouble over saying that, which I think is weird because you got to have a sense of humor. And that's the problem with Hollywood. They don't have a sense of humor about themselves. They take themselves way too fucking seriously. But great interview. Go check it out, guys. Just a beautiful guy. I love it. Don had a blast talking to him.
Oh, yeah.
What a good show. What a good show. Really a lot of information got thrown out. And then, of course, they both got to commiserate over the fact they both lost their sons, too young. Because Don lost his son when he was 9 and Rod lost his when he was 27, suddenly, just terrible. And just a great episode, guys. Please go check it out. I think you will really like that show. It's this last Wednesday, Dangerous Military Nerds. You can find it on KGRA app or through our YouTube channel here at Pop Culture Minefield. Now, we will talk tomorrow, Danny, about your show on this Sunday, because I'm looking forward to you talking about that one. But everybody remember, if you've not subscribed to Pop Culture Minefield, to check out Dork Night's Dork Side of the Ring every Sunday at 1 o'clock Central Standard Time. That's 2 o'clock Eastern, 11 o'clock, right? 11 o'clock, no, 12 noon Mountain, and then 11 o'clock Pacific. So check his show out. It's a lot of fun. They talk about wrestling. Stuff going on in the wrestling world. Bill likes it a lot. Bill Skywatcher. He's a big wrestling fan, man. And of course, John is the chat manager, and Bill Skywatcher is now the producer of the show. Did you have a good time with Bill? Oh, good. Can't hear you. Awesome. We'll move on.
Oh, sorry. I said, yeah, he's cool. All business. I'd like to get to have a little bit more time to get to know him, because he was only in there in the beginning for about 10, 15 minutes. And then as soon as we were off, he's like, okay, I got to do another show. And
he's busy all the time, man.
Yeah.
But I think he
really
would
cool.
actually enjoy being on the show. I think he would enjoy it. But let's see. What do we got going on here? We got 1 minute. So I want to thank everybody for being here. Keith, thanks for showing up.
Thanks,
I want to thank Kieran for being here from the UK. I want to thank Stephen for being a good, great, awesome, funny co-host. Martin, thank you for being so Martini. I want to thank Das Wolfen for always being quiet, and Dork Knight for popping in here at the end. I appreciate it, buddy. And I do tease you a lot, Das Wolfen, but I love you, buddy. You're awesome. You are. You got great information when it happens. And I want to thank everybody in the chat. Anima Confusa, Bush McFadden, Dragon Ruse, Penny, Monkey Jeebus, Railway Nation, Alex Moore, The Dork Knight, Slasher Fred, Small Time Republic, Peter Vickman Fansite, Parrothead, Arwen Avalon, Donnie Pearson, AF Watcher, Zax, and that's it. I got them all. Woo! Thanks a lot, guys. Let's get this show going. KGRA, thanks a lot for loving our show and putting us on the air. Past that, have a great Friday, and we'll see you tomorrow for Saturday morning fun time. You be cool!